They're an integral part of Enter the Gungeon's design, and indeed, most dungeon crawlers going back to The Legend of Zelda and the original Rogue. They're what separates dungeon crawlers from, open field crawlers. I'm talking about rooms. Gungeon's rooms can be of any shape or any size, incorporate a bunch of different objects and mechanics, and, interestingly, all have a unique name, which is completely hidden to the player. These development names, never intended to be revealed to outside eyes, are mostly used for categorization, making it easier for a human to sort what room is which during development. Through the power of code, I'm now able to show you exactly what each room is called. Before we begin, not all rooms have interesting names. There are plenty of rooms that are just AG&D Room 14, or whatever. I'm gonna skip over generic repeat names and only show those which are interesting. You can actually use the names to tell when in the game's development a room was added. Rooms added later have more sensible, dry, numerical names, while earlier creations are called stupid nonsense. Starting with the Keep of the Leadlord, referred to internally as Castle. Alexa, Always Gunny. Batman Begins. Batting Cage. Blinkadoo. Boombox. Boomball Run. Bosco. Bot Lane. Bounce House. Brap. Bullet Banquet. Car Wash. Chapel Call. Chell. Court of Oryx. Crash. Interestingly, if you include the first part of the name, which is the level name, which is Castle, you get Castle Crash. I don't know if that's intentional. Could be. Drax. Easy Peasy. First Blood. Flippums. Friends. Fun Fun Fun. Ghost in the Shell. Ghost Kids. Green Dragon. The Armory. It-Gma, or ITGMA, I'm not sure which one it's meant to be. Joe Dance. Johnny's First Time. Johnny's Second Time. Cashwomped. K-Pop. Lem. Lolcake. Lord Joe. Machine Gun War. Monica's Apartment. More Fun. Horizontal Hotgates. Something Something. Old McGregor's Conservatorium. Peaky Blasters. Picnic Tables. Poker Ballroom. Poop Room. Poplar Promenade. Private Eyes. Pwomph. Robble Robble. Royal McPoyle. RP Dodgems. Rumble. Shot Fun Room. Shotgun War. Shotgunnery. Sklounced. Study Hall. Table Service. Terror Dome. TJ Blastums. Triggered. Trump Card. Whirly-Doo, and Wizarding World. Next up, the Oubliette, called Sewer internally. Since the Oubliette was a later addition to development, it typically has more sensible names. As such, I can only find 3 for you here today. Ivan Ooze, Spike Pits, and Splap. Continuing on, the Gungeon proper, simply called the Gungeon internally. There are 4 rooms in the Gungeon proper that each share the name Batman. Unsurprisingly, these rooms contain bats. There are 20 rooms called Joe Blow, 20 more called Joe No, and yet 20 more called Joe Snow. For anyone unaware, Joe, outside of being your mother, is Dodgeroll's artist, and evidently a room design contributor on top of that. A lot of rooms contain the name of the developer who designed them, but Joe seems to have been the most prolific in this regard. You'll see as we go on. Onto the individual rooms now. Big Machine Gun Party. Shark Box. The Divide. Exploding Wizards. Nexus Point. Forbidden Knowledge. Lazalfos. The S is for Sucks. Cube Jail. Executor Decision. Flame Chompers. Funky Bunch, Gunner's Grave, Trounce, Jimmy Moop, Lysandra, Lol Dead, Can You Walk and Shoot Pit, Evil Platforming Room, Fight Fight Fight, Hot Gates, Rubber Bullet Jerks, Barrel Paradise, Sun Guys Belching Bullets, Weirdo Room, Omarion, Rip, Risky Business, Sharknado, Slugfest, Snipe City, Squanch Trap, Tanto, Tased and Confused, Thanks Fisty, John John, Tumblr, Womp Womp, and Wizardland. Similarly to the Oubliette, the Abbey, called the Cathedral internally, doesn't have a huge number of interesting rooms, but there are a few. There are 4 rooms named Elbow, 20 named Abbey Crabby, 10 rooms called Joe Red, and another 10 rooms called Joe Neal. After the Abbey, there's the Black Powder Mine. There are 21 rooms in the mine that contain the words IGN, and 20 more rooms just called Joe Guano. In addition, there are a couple of rooms called Tentacles, and one room just called Tent Hub. They all contain Killithits. As well as that, you've got Biobombs, Come On and Zook, Goopies, Gungie Cart, Gungie Karma, McPoyle, Meow, Muffin Top, Nope, Pitfall Pong, Skullduggery, Tempe, Tightrope, Truffle Shuffle, Whee! Drums in the Deep, Turretopia, Lizard Cabal, Mushroom Paradise, and Pet Cemetery. Unfortunately, I've got to skip over the Rat Den because all of its rooms are named dryly and sensibly and are of little interest. As for the Hollow, called the Catacomb internally, there's a lot of rooms referencing Norse mythology, but with Joe's name plastered over the top. There are 20 rooms called Joe Ice Giant, 20 more called Jolnir, and yet another 20 labelled with Jokey. There are also some collections unrelated to Germanic myth, but still related to Joe myth, such as the 20 rooms called Joe Hot Fire, and the 20 more called Joe Cool Room. Despite Joe's inexhaustible presence on this floor, there are plenty of rooms spared from his influence. Blizzard, Cube Sloob, Graveyard Smash, Purple Wizard Mountain Dew, Rapture, Wrecked, Warring Kingdoms, Wizard's First Rule, Wizard's Second Rule, Blobs and Cubes Living Together, and The Mummy Returns. As for the Forge, known internally as the Forge, we have Blowed Up, Chopper, Cranston, Death Room, Death Bed, 5-Henge, 4-Henge, Hub Dub Dub, Compromat, Tubulaire, 1-Henge, Shreckening, Suncube, The Wiz, and 2-Henge. Finally, there's Bullet Hell, known for its miserably small room pool. There's only a small handful to cover, 10 of which bring us to the final arc of the Joe saga, by being labelled as Hell Hath No Joery. With Joe put to rest, we finish out Bullet Hell with Bridge of Death, Devil Dance, Graveyard, Shell, and Torture Room. And that's that. The room names are something I've always found rather amusing, as they provide an insight into the mindset of the game's development, and indeed, a window into Joe's soul. I'll leave you here for now, but thank you for joining me on this journey. Joya!